My boyfriend of 8 years, let's call him Jay, is a personal trainer, and he's damn good at it. A huge part of his success is his personality. The guy is just naturally charming, super charismatic, and can make anyone feel like they're the most important person in the room. It's what allows him to build these incredible connections with his clients, who then stick with him for years. For the longest time, I was his biggest fan. I loved that part of him and knew it was essential for his business. But for the past few months, that same charm has started to feel like a knife twisting in my gut. It all started with a new client, Sarah. She's a married mom, seemed nice enough, and hired Jake a few months ago to help with marathon training. At first, it was totally normal, but their relationship went from professional to close friends at a speed that felt jarring. It began with the extra runs. On top of their paid sessions, they started going on runs together outside of scheduled hours, at least twice a week. I tried to be cool about it. Seriously. I did. I told myself, they're both marathon runners. They're training for the same goal. This makes sense. I didn't want to be the insecure girlfriend who couldn't handle her partner having a female friend. But it's the texting that's really getting to me. For the last 2 months, it has been constant. His phone, which used to be an on-minus factor in our lives, is now a third person in our relationship. It's a constant buzz, a constant flash of light on the coffee table or the nightstand. And every single time, it's her name, Sarah. Just seeing her name pop up on his screen now makes my stomach clench. It's a Pavlovian response at this point. The other night really crystallized it for me. We were on the couch, trying to watch a movie. Or at least, I was. His phone was face minus up on the coffee table between us. He lit up. A long message preview from Sarah. He didn't pick it up, but I saw his eyes flick down to it. A minute later, buzz. Another one. He shifted his weight on the couch. I tried to ignore it, to pull him back to me. I nudged his shoulder and asked, "How was your day, babe?" He half-minus glanced at me, his focus clearly still on that glowing screen. "Fine," he said. That was it. One word. His attention was already gone. He was in the room with me, but his head was somewhere else entirely. In a text conversation I wasn't a part of. In that moment, sitting inches away from him, I had never felt so alone. It felt like I was competing for scraps of his attention and losing badly to a series of notifications. Am I just supposed to be okay with feeling like a ghost in my own home? A few days after the movie night disaster, I tried to bring it up. I attempted to be chill about it, not wanting to start a fight. We were in the kitchen cleaning up after dinner, and I just casually said, "Man, you and Sarah seem to have a lot to talk about. Her name pops up on your phone constantly." He didn't even look up from the plate he was scrubbing. "No? You're just noticing it more," he said, his voice flat. "We really don't talk as much as you think." It was the casual, effortless way he dismissed it that really stung. It made me feel like I was crazy, like I was the one inventing a problem. He was telling me my own eyes were lying to me. That's the lie that broke me. Later that week, he was in the shower. I could hear the water running, a steady, muffled sound from the bathroom. I was lying in bed, scrolling through my own phone, but I couldn't focus. My eyes kept darting to his phone on the nightstand. It was just a dark, silent rectangle, but it felt like a bomb. My heart started pounding in my chest. A voice in my head was screaming, "Don't do it. This is wrong. This is a total violation of his privacy. You'll be just as bad as what you're imagining." But another, more desperate voice whispered that, "He lied to your face. You need to know if you're going insane." The war in my head lasted for what felt like an eternity. Then, with a hand that was visibly shaking, I reached over and picked it up. I opened their message thread. The first thing that hit me wasn't the content, but the sheer volume. It was a dizzying, endless scroll. My thumb just kept going and going and going. It wasn't just a few texts a day. It was all day, every day. Here's why. We don't talk that much. Was so blatant it felt like a physical blow. The timestamps told the whole story. A good morning text from her at 6:15 a.m. before I was even awake. A reply from him with a picture of his coffee a minute later. They sent each other random photos throughout the day. His lunch, her dog, the traffic. They exchanged long, multi-minus paragraph novels about their personal lives, their families, their likes and dislikes, their frustrations. And the day ended with a sleep well, talk tomorrow text from him around 11 p.m. Usually after HED already rolled over and turned his back to me in bed. I kept scrolling, my stomach churning, looking for the smoking gun. But the truth was so much worse. It was all technically platonic. There were no I love yous or explicit pictures. But what I saw was a deep, vibrant, emotional connection. It was the exact connection that I'd been starving for. He was asking her how her day was, what was going on with her kids, how she was feeling about her upcoming race. He was offering support, cracking jokes, being the engaged, attentive partner that I remembered but hadn't seen in years. And then came the final, gut-minus wrenching realization in this massive, detailed log of his entire life for the past 2 months. My name wasn't mentioned once, not a single time. It was as if in the world he shared with her. Our 8-year relationship. Our home. Me, I didn't exist. He hadn't just built a friendship with another woman. He had built an entire emotional life with her. And I wasn't in it at all. Armed with the awful truth, I knew I had to try talking to him again. I waited a day or two for the anger to cool down into something I could actually articulate. I approached him that evening when things were quiet, determined to handle this like an adult. I didn't yell. I didn't accuse him of cheating. I just sat down across from him and laid my heart out. Jake, I started, my voice a little shaky. We need to talk about the texting with Sarah. It's not just about the notifications anymore. I feel like I'm a third wheel in my own relationship. I feel neglected and lonely, and the sheer amount of time and emotional energy you give her, all day, every day, is making me deeply uncomfortable. I took a deep breath and made my request. I'm asking you, as my partner, to please set a boundary and cut back on the non-minus stop personal texting. It was like a switch flipped. His face went from neutral to cold in a split second. Are you serious? He shot back, his voice instantly defensive. This is my job. This is how I build rapport. The conversation immediately escalated into a full minus-blown fight. I tried to stay calm, to steer it back to my feelings. But he wasn't having it. You're threatening my business, he said, standing up and starting to pace. Sarah is a great client. What do you want me to do? Just ice her out and potentially lose that income. Is that what you want? He was throwing up this perfect, impenetrable wall, and on every brick was written the word business. I tried to tear it down. This isn't about business, I pleaded, my voice rising with frustration. You have tons of loyal clients. You've trained Linda for 5 years. Do you text her good morning and good night? Do you send pictures of your lunch to Mike? Of course you don't. This is different. And you're pretending it isn't. It didn't matter. The argument just went in circles. He refused to acknowledge the distinction between a friendly, professional relationship and the intensely personal, emotionally intimate one he had built with her. Every time I tried to talk about how it made me feel, he twisted it into an attack on his career. The conversation ended when he just threw his hands up in the air. I can't even talk to you about this, he said, his voice dripping with condescension. You're being controlling and insecure. You're trying to sabotage the way I run my business. And then he walked out of the room, leaving me sitting there, completely unutterably shattered. I feel like I'm losing my mind. He has taken my completely valid feelings of being replaced and has relabeled them as a threat to his livelihood. He's made me the bad guy. I don't know what to do. My direct, honest communication has been turned into a weapon against me. How do I get him to understand that this isn't about his clients or his job? This is about him giving the emotional intimacy that belongs to our relationship to someone else. How do I get him to respect a boundary when he sees it as a cage? What am I supposed to do now?